you talked about loving acting because you could be somebody else, and you could start to express the things that you felt uncomfortable expressing in real life. So
yeah, when I think back to what my experience was, particularly in college, which is when I really started acting, it was for the first time feeling like there's this cool thing that I can do, that I just have something that I noticed a lot of other people don't have.
could you even define what that thing was?
It was something about being able to be real, but at the same time powerful on stage.
And did you feel powerful inside at that time?
When I was on stage, if it was going well, I felt powerful, something that I wasn't used to feeling in front of a bunch of people. And the other thing was that my attitude about the craft changed as I started to act professionally. Because I thought, I have this thing, I'm good at it, and I can do this, and I can be a star, and all I have to do is just do that thing that I'm good at.
Right.
But the thing that I started noticing was that the bigger the roles got, if the script wasn't good, or I didn't have a good director, I would be lost. My performances were literally hit or miss depending on the night, because I didn't have any technique. And so one of the things that I did consistently while I was pursuing acting in Boston was I worked as an artist model. And so I would go to his studio and I'd just sit in this chair and he'd paint me and we'd just talk for 3 hours. And one day he asked me about training for acting, and I said, well, you just learn as you go. Even though in my head I knew that was kind of bullshit. Right. And I said, you know, I just want to go to New York. I want to go to the actor studio, and I want to do theater, and I want to be a movie star. And I said, the only other, and this is how full of shit I was. I said, the only other place I'd even consider is Yale. And I couldn't get into Yale anyway because I never finished my bachelor's degree. And he says to me, well, you know, you might want to consider applying to Yale because I got my master's in painting from Yale, and I don't have a bachelor's degree. And I thought, huh. And I don't know why that stuck with me, but I left there, and the next day I called information, I called the drama school and I asked them.
It's kind of amazing hearing you talk, like the level of delusion or just focus that you can have at that age of, well, I'll just do this. And
it wasn't like I was dying to go to Yale. That,
right.
Believe it or not, that was my backup plan. Like my first, my A plan was to go to New York and go to the actor studio and be a movie star and win a Tony on Broadway. And so then when I got in, I was like, oh shit, what do I do?
Right.
Because even when I applied, Suzanne was like, what do you apply, what? She was like, are you crazy? Do you want to go to school? I said, no. She said, why are you applying? I was like, I don't know.
What was her level of dealing with you kind of new careers and...
She hung in there for a long time, let me tell you. I mean, it was interesting because, I said, once I got in, I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I did something that I had gotten completely out of the habit of doing, which was I asked everybody their opinion. And I went to a casting director and I asked her opinion, and he said, oh no, just go, just go to LA and do movies. But every single actor I talked to, every single one was like, you got into Yale, you have to go.
Right.
And then, I don't know, maybe a week or two into this process, I was talking to Suzanne about it, and she said, Lance, I think you should go. I was like, you do? She said, yeah. And I said, well, I'm not gonna go unless you come with me. She said, well, of course, we'll move with you. I was like, oh, you will? I said, well, I'm not gonna go if they don't give me financial aid. And then they gave me a bunch of financial aid because I had a wife and a kid. So it was like, oh.
Now I have to go.
I guess I'm going. And so I went, yeah, and it changed my life.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you like what you just saw, then why not subscribe? Click right here for lots more off camera. And if you want to see the hour-long version of these conversations, I'm going to give you the secret link. Here it is, offcamera.com. Check it out.